Well, it's like we all expected. Craig Berube, after all this time, all the speculation, back when the Leafs were kind of fluttering there in the early part of the season, and Craig Berube gets canned from the St. Louis Blues, everyone's talking about get rid of Sheldon Keefe, bring in Berube. And it took to the offseason, and it took Sheldon Keefe getting fired and doing some crazy, Twitter post on the water, before finally, Craig Berube is the Toronto Maple Leafs head coach. Now, I have a few things I need to say. First off, he was the guy that I wanted. I think we all wanted Rod Brind'Amour. He was the guy that you kind of wanted at the very top, but no one even knew if he was even going to leave Carolina. If he does, he kind of looked back at it a little bit. Maybe he doesn't even want to come here. But Craig Berube, though he wants to be here. And it's a different style of coach than these guys are used to. Now, people are going to say, whoa, they had Mike Babcock. Right. When they were 18 and 19 and 20 years old. They are now 27, 28 years old. And if they can't handle a little of a hard ass, then you're not going to go very far. And we've all seen by now the video surfaced of Craig Berube's pregame chat. I'd say chat with the fellas before Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals between the Blues and the Bruins, where the Blues went on to beat the Boston Bruins. Now, obviously, I cannot show you the video due to copyright, but I will play the audio.
Pump it up here. We're here for a fucking reason, because we're a fucking good hockey team, and we're going to fucking come home with a cup here today. Let's fucking go. Sonny, Bo, Perry, Benner. Let's go. Pump it up here.
Okay, I'd love to play it again. But you know what? If you're not ready to run through a brick freaking wall, shout out Joseph Wall, after that, damn. I mean, I don't know what you need then. I don't know what type of motivation you need. Craig Berube, Stanley Cup champion Craig Berube, is the Toronto Maple Leafs head coach. Now, is the coach everything? No, he's not. You're only as good as the players you have in the ice. Right? And for Craig Berube, remember, that St. Louis Blues team was awful for the first half of the year. Then they caught fire and never looked back. Jordan Binnington turned into an absolute stud, absolute monster in the net. And yes, your players have to do so. But you have to be motivated by a coach. And how many times this past season have we talked about the Leafs? Sheldon Keefe has gotten stale. We heard that so much during the season. Craig Berube, a new voice, a Stanley Cup champion. He can fire that ring around and show the boys what it takes. And for God's sakes, Craig Berube, I looked up his hockey DB and holy crap, 1,054 games, 3,149 penalty minutes. Goon. Absolute mutant. And if you watch that video I just played for you guys, the audio for that, if you've seen the whole clip of that, he's talking about being hard on guys, be tough, be physical. And I'm like, that's kind of playoff hockey. Now people are going to say, well, the Leafs were this year. Right. But it's a different style of physical. It's hard on the puck. How many times have I said in years past you don't have to just crush everybody that moves. Be physical and hard on the puck. That's a different story. And I'm intrigued. Look, I'm not going to say that the Leafs are, hey, here comes the Stanley Cup next season, but he did end the St. Louis Blues drought. And the St. Louis Blues joined the league in 1967. And the Leafs, we all know, haven't won the Cup since then. So, coincidence? I think not. No, I mean, it probably is, but who cares? And he did play for the Toronto Maple Leafs for 40 games back in, 1991, 1992, where he played 40 games and had 109 penalty minutes. Goon. I love it. I mean, look, any new voice, I think, for Leafs Nation is a fresh one. But I'm looking all over social media, and I'm trying to find the person that's not jacked up for Craig Berube. And Leafs Nation don't usually agree on things. And for the most part, for people to agree on what we're seeing right now and what this hire, it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice for once in a while. Now, I want to see it on the ice, as we all do. But now becomes the real test for Brad Treliving, Brendan Shanahan, and this coaching staff. Right? Because you're going to have Matthews, you're going to have William Nylander. If you listen to the presser with Brad Treliving Brendan Shanahan, and Pelly. George Pelly. Hold on a minute here. Richard Pelly? No, not Richard Petty. What am I talking about? Oh, gosh. I will figure this one out on the spot. Keith Pelly. There we go. Keith Pelly. They were talking about something about change. Things need to be different. And I'm thinking, okay, well, that's Mitch Marner and John Tavares. So those are going to be the big things that will happen in the offseason. But the thing we all knew that had to be done, letting Sheldon Keefe go and bringing in Craig Berube was the most likely scenario, and it happened. But the hard stuff begins now. But for right now, Leafs Nation, enjoy it. Watch Craig Berube fighting highlights if you want to. Go listen to that Game 7 pregame stuff. Because he said in that clip that we are going to effing bring the cup home tonight, boys. And they did. Again, it's the St. Louis Blues, not the Toronto Maple Leafs, but love it. I like that he can sit there in the room and not filter himself. Don't be like, okay, guys, great job, good effort. No, if you play like garbage, you're going to hear it. If he wants to call you an effing loser or an effing softy, he will say it. He will say it to your face. And if you can't hold it, you can't deal with it, there's the door. Because that's how you're going to win in the playoffs. It's how you win in the tough spots of hockey. You got to be tough. And if you can't take accountability, and that's the big thing, accountability from your coach, then what are we doing here? So, I'm excited for Craig Berube. Again, it's the coach, it's not the guys on the ice, but it's a stepping stone and a very positive one at that for the Toronto Maple Leafs. All right, so you know what, guys? That's going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and are jacked up for Craig Berube being the next coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs, hit that like button. I do appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button if you guys not done so already. Comment down below. Thoughts on the video. Thoughts on Craig Berube being the next bench boss for the boys in blue and white. All your thoughts in the comments down below. Go crazy. Twitter, Discord, Instagram, and of course TikTok is down below. So follow up there if you haven't done so already. And I will talk to you guys, whenever. I guess Leafs edition. When's the next Jays off day? Ooh, maybe not. Maybe sometime this weekend. I'll do the season review, off-season preview for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And as for the Blue Jays, they're in action tonight. 7:07 first pitch at Rogers Center against Tampa Bay Rays. Chris Passes on the hill. We'll see what happens there. And as for the Leafs, I'll talk to you guys next. Is it a trade edition? Is it not till July free agency, July 1? We will see. But thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. And Craig Berube, being a Leaf. Talk to you guys then.